We hear all the time of legendary figures in the world, and it's always just about who they are or were. But how often do we truly get a telling of their accomplishments? Today, we're taking a dive into the accomplishments of one of the most acclaimed American figures, Alexander Hamilton. That is what I'm here to tell you about today, America. Hi, my name is JD Serta, a Stanford University graduate now working as a famous and very wealthy
all I do is win, no matter what.
Historian at the very wealthy United States famous Historian Office of State. Working as a historian for well over a decade now, I've delved into everything there is to know about this country. But by far, one of the most intriguing subjects that I've studied is none other than your favorite founding father, Alexander Hamilton. You may recognize him from your history lessons, the Broadway musical, or even simply the $10 bill. Despite what you may recognize him from, Alexander Hamilton is by far most famous for being one of America's founding fathers. Ah yes, America's favorite 5 guys who did stuff. They were totally up the alley to form a boy band. But don't be misled, we're still only honing in on the short-tempered, ambitious Alexander. Huh? What's that? Oh, what did Alexander Hamilton do to be given the title of founding father? I heard nobody ask.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Well, a lot of things, but by far some of the most important things he did were help in the drafting of the Constitution, battle in the Revolutionary War, serve as the first Secretary of the Treasury, help in the writing of the Federalist Papers, create one of the first political parties, and so much more. Hamilton was known for never setting down his pen and never backing down from an argument. Of course, that led to numerous collisions and controversies. Riddled flip. Regardless though, Hamilton is still an incredible patron to the founding of the United States. Let's take a look into Hamilton's involvement of the Constitution. First, to clear things off, it wasn't actually Hamilton who wrote the Constitution, but rather it was this guy, James Madison. Democratic Republican, author of the Bill of Rights, right-hand man to Thomas Jefferson, Madison! Yippee! In reality, Hamilton had little influence over the contents of the Constitution. Contents of the Constitution. Rather, he would serve on committees that would determine the regulations and writing style.
Excuse me.
What?
Why are you even mentioning Hamilton's involvement in the Constitution if all he did was set out guidelines?
I am so glad you asked. America wouldn't have the Constitution today without the help of Hamilton. All the way back in the late 1700s. You see, in order to have the Constitution take the place of the weak Articles of Confederation, ratification from the 13 states had to be obtained. To accomplish this, Hamilton partnered up with John Jay and James Madison to write a chain of essays that would defend the new Constitution, of which they titled the Federalist Papers. After 6 months, 85 essays had been created, with Hamilton writing 2/3 of the entire project. I feel you there, Hamilton. In 1788, in Albany, New York, a constitutional convention was held, where Hamilton attended and endlessly exerted his case for the Constitution's ratification. Through eloquent convincement and a case stronger than steel, Hamilton successfully gained ratification from enough states to seal the deal on the United States Constitution. The approval of the Constitution was merely the ignition of the fire for Hamilton's goals of founding the American government. Introducing Hamilton's economic plan. Between 1790 and 1791, Hamilton devised a 5-step plan to solve the nation's debt and financial issues. Step 1, institute the nation's credit. This meant paying off all of the nation states' debts. Hamilton thought that it'd be better for all debt to be dealt with in one team of officials rather than the states to handle independently. In doing this, Hamilton firmly believed that the way the debt was managed would make America recognized by other nations as credible and trustworthy. This would make alliances for future issues more easy to obtain. Step 2, establish national debt. Wait, but isn't debt like something not wanted? I thought Hamilton's whole thing was getting out of debt. Yes, being in debt is a terrible condition, but maybe if you let me get to my points, you'd know by now. So, to get rid of the Confederate debt, Hamilton created security bonds. Investors who had purchased these public securities could make enormous profits when the time came for the United States to pay off these debts. If you're a caveman like me and didn't catch that, in simpler terms, security bonds were meant for anyone who invested in them to be able to collect large profits of money that they'd use later in life to stimulate the economy and pay back the government, paying back the debt. Step 3, create United States banking system. Hamilton believed it crucial for America to conjure up a strong national banking system so that it may improve management of finances across the states, and also to advance and stabilize America's credit. His ideas of banking made their way into your present-day Chase and Wells Fargo. Step 4, whiskey taxation. To lessen the $25 million national debt, Hamilton imposed a whiskey tax. This tax did not go over well when presented to the people because it had reminded them of Britain's prior relentless taxation. A large number of rural farmers made their living off of turning their rye into whiskey. When tax collectors showed up at the residence of the farmers rebelled against the tax through harassment and intimidation to the collectors. Hamilton heard of the uprising and quickly suppressed the rebellion as a demonstration of government power. The whiskey tax was kept in order until Thomas Jefferson's presidency, when it was quickly revoked due to the difficulty of collecting the finances due. Step 5, imposition of tariffs. One of Hamilton's many dreams for America was to make it a manufacturing live wire. Tariffs, or taxes on imported goods, were created by Hamilton to promote self-sufficiency across the nation and to shorten reliance on foreign nations for goods. This plan took flight to an exceptional victory. Hamilton's plan of financial credibility impressed foreign countries into investing large sums of money into the growing United States, all according to his plan. With a pen that never seemed to run scarce of ink, Hamilton wrote nonstop on his way to the top. His brilliant pioneering of government has carried on for centuries and has had great influence upon all forms of American living. Hamilton's last work of writing was a letter towards his wife and family, which he wrote the dawn of his last day when he was to face in a gun duel against his longtime companion Aaron Burr. Burr won the duel at the cost of a tragedy that'd have a shake on the nation for years and years to come.